All right, hello. My name is Branin Wesley Marshall. Can I get some introductions, please?
Hi, I'm Rihanna.
Hi, my name is Pamela Restrepo.
Hello, my name's Al.
Hi, I'm Mia.
I'm Keelan.
I'm Brina.
All right, well, I am here to talk to you guys about the fear of being the outsider, or furries should not be vilified. Everyone, no matter who they are, has been judged in some sort of way about who they are and what they like before people even get to know them. We've all experienced it, whether it's racial or your religion or what, if you happen to like a TV show, people will instantly judge you for some strange reason. For me, that's because I'm a furry. I have a lot of experience of people judging me. I share my artwork of my animal characters online, and if it's not a friendly, like an instantly furry friendly area, they just ridicule you and they won't even talk about your artwork. They're just like, "Oh, you're a furry. It's supposed to mean this or that," and all sorts of different harm. I've heard so many harmful things over the years. What is a furry? A furry is an enthusiast for animal characters with human characteristics. It's what you would call anthropomorphism. It's applying human characteristics to something that's not human. So it could even be a rock. You could even do it if you wanted to. But furries for the most part, they'll dress up in costume, or they use an avatar, or they do artwork. For my first point, actually overall, my major thing is furries should not be vilified because they donate to charity. They are acceptable. They teach acceptance, and then they are not just sexual deviants. And for my first point, furries should not be vilified because they donate to charity. In fact, for the past 20 years, the total collection from furry conventions has gone over like almost $2 million, donate to various charities. A lot of people will offer themselves for different events, going to old folks' homes, soup kitchens, and stuff in their costume to support those kind of people. I mean, just furries are just really friendly people. You need help, they're there for you. If it's personal, if you're having trouble with your artwork or life, they will lend an ear to you. That's just what furries do. Second point, furries should not be vilified because they teach acceptance. The furry community was actually one of the first groups to truly accept pretty much everybody. I mean, from all genders, CEOs, blue collar workers, you name it. You may not even know that they're a furry. They're there. I mean, they're not always vocal about it, but there's people you wouldn't even realize are furries, and they're furries. Uh, Especially with the age of the internet, more and more people came out, and furries actually used to be a very straight fandom back in the 70s, but slowly over the years, it's gotten more and more. Pretty much, I mean, I'm straight myself, but for the most part, a lot of furries are gay. That's just how it has happened. They feel like they can express as much as they can inside the fandom. For the third point, furries should not be vilified because they are not sexual deviants. There's a lot of stigma, especially from things like CSI's infamous episode Fur and Loathing that paints a picture that furries are, like they constantly want to have sex all the time, or they put on these heavy costumes and have orgies for some strange reason. People think that, even though these suits actually cost like thousands of dollars and take hundreds of hours to actually create one, for some strange reason, because of this episode and other harmful articles over the years, have painted this kind of like kinky thing that, yes, there's kink in the furry community, but that's like any community when it comes to a fandom. Like, there's infamous stuff with Star Trek between certain characters and stuff, but so it's not like it. They're just normal. Everyone's normal in furries. They just happen to like stuff that other people don't like. And on top of that, a lot of people think that furries are zoophiles, that they're attracted to animals, and that's not true. A very small percentage actually are like that. They're just not, And there's even a small percentage somewhere, I'm certain, of people that actually practice bestiality, but those are the people that furries, for the most part, they're not welcome. These people are not the kind of people other furries want to be around or even have anything to do with. And then to close off, I'm going to show a 2-minute clip of a YouTube video of furries talking about themselves, what they like and how they did it. And if you really want to get yourself angry, I don't fully recommend it because it's YouTube comments, but almost all the comments are just full of hate of people who apparently watched the video, but somehow watched a different video than the one that's on display, because it's gross how people react to furries, and it's not right.
It's all sort of knotted into a big messy ball. It's just got to have talking animals in it.
Want to know what I'm drawing?
Oh, I thought it was just a sex thing.
Yeah.
Is that a sex thing? You guys just have sex in those things, right? Just like...
In 2000, significant point in furry history is when the CSI episode, Fur and Loathing, comes out and sort of paints the fandom as this like crazy sex fetish cult, which really, really diminishes the reputation of the fandom. Because obviously CSI is a documentary.
Oh, people are so strange. They think that these furries are having sex with one another. Dig deep enough, yeah, you can find that, but that's not the case for Eric or any of his friends that I've ever met.
We love you, Boots.
I really would actually prefer if people didn't know in my personal life that I do this. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but there's certain social connotations that kind of come with it. It just keeps things a lot simpler.
People are way more excited about cartoons and cosplaying as their characters than they are necessarily to do sexual things within furry.
There are, I think, 8 animal heads in my room right now that are masks that I can wear. That's weird. You can not like it, that's one thing, but actually being outwardly cruel to somebody or being like, oh, you're a freak because of it, it's just like, just back off. I'm not hurting you. I've had 2 separate incidents where people have hit me in suit, and like non-furries, and I don't want to deal with that again. I had a cheerleader at a parade beat me over the head with a stick. Oh, don't do this to me today, machine. Because I make them, I definitely love them a lot. I put a lot into my work. It's Byzantium version 2. I've got a work in progress here. This is going to be the same character as Byzantium here. Byzantium being my goals character. His personality is basically what I want myself to be, so he'd be less anxious, just more of a chill, laid-back kind of character versus being like high anxiety like I am. We're going...
I'm going to stop it there. But if you want to, I can share the video with you. It's like 14 minutes long.
I'm going to howl tonight. It's...
Oh, okay. Citations, and if you want to know anything more about from me, you can contact me through these. Any questions?
I have a question, if you don't mind me asking.
Not at all.
Okay, so first, I just want to say thank you for enlightening me on this culture, because I'm gonna be honest, and maybe other people also agree, like I thought it was mainly like, like a sexual kinky kind of thing. But I'm sorry if I missed it, but I'm just kind of interested in like what your why is, if that's okay for me to ask, like what kind of drew you to this, or like what led you to identify as one? Like, was it the culture of them, or do you like relate to a specific animal? Like, I'm not sure how that would work, if that makes sense.
Well, for me, it was more of growing up with certain cartoon, Disney's Robin Hood and stuff, and just attaching myself to, hey, that's an interesting character design of a walking, talking animal. And it wasn't until, I explored that in my artwork as a kid, but I didn't quite get what was going on until like the early 2000s, and getting online and finding more furry stuff. And when it comes to me, I don't really identify, in a lot of furries actually, we don't exactly identify with the animals. It's more of a aesthetic, and also kind of it's something to hide behind also. Is like, no one can see me if I'm in this costume, or no one can really fully know me if I'm hiding behind this picture, and then eventually when you start to find out more people are into it, that's when you can let loose with those people. And that's how most of the fandom is. It's like once you get like past the doors, it's suddenly this wide open acceptance area. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Pamela, were you going to say anything?
Yeah, you mentioned earlier about how furries were, the furry culture existed back in the 70s. And I was wondering how far back does furry culture go?
Well, it's funny you say that because for my anthropology class, I did a project, and that's where that little fox character with the stick pointing at things came from. Was that project, and I actually went into a history of it. I mean, I could. Well, I don't know. Don't want to waste anyone's time, but I have comics that I drew for that project that go into not just the 70s, but like how we used animals for representation way back in prehistoric times, and how, you know, like Egyptian gods have animal heads and stuff like that, or Aesop's fables using animals as lessons. And it wasn't, but it was, the funny thing about the 70s thing is it was born out of people who like to go to sci-fi conventions who are getting tired of, you know, the regular science fiction and also superhero comics. And so they grew up on cartoons like Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse. And so they started drawing characters like that, and then even putting them into situations like Star Wars and stuff, and eventually creating their own universes and stuff. And that's how that all happened.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I also have one thing. I remember when majority of the Black Lives Matter protests were going on, it was a video that was going around of a furry just dancing with the crowd and just like uplifting everybody. And it just really shows that like it's a kind group of people, and it's just them minding their business and having fun and being
Exactly.
supportive of another group of people that was struggling at a time. So I just really appreciative.
Yeah. All right, if that's it, then I will stop recording. A little drop down. There you go. Thank you. All right, and stopping now.